What do you do with your cash when inflation is sky high? You probably have an emergency fund. You may have cash stuck in maybe a high interest savings account that you thought was the best place to put your cash, because we all know that we need cash just in case, I don't know, there's a worldwide pandemic, or for whatever reason, we stop making money, we lose a job, rental property goes vacant, or whatever. For whatever reason, we all know that we have to keep cash on hand. But when inflation is at 7, 8, 9%, what do you do with your cash? If you just literally have it in cash in a checking account or a savings account, you're losing 7, 8, 9% of purchasing power while that money sits in cash. So today, I've got a really good solution for you guys. It's not going to solve all of your problems, but it'll take a chunk of at least your emergency fund or some of that money you've got sitting in cash. It's not an investment. I've got a guaranteed return for you guys. So let's get into it right now.
Shut up and sit down.
Just in case you're new here, this is the Retirement Mentality channel. I want to change your mentality about retirement, about investing, about money. The way that our parents retired and saved up money and socked it away to live off the interest just isn't the best way to do it anymore. Now we can get multiple streams of income. We can invest in real estate. We can do lots of different ways to retire earlier, retire faster, and live better with that money and those investments. So if those are things that are interesting to you, consider subscribing to the channel. And as you watch this video, if something ignites an idea in you or you like it, hit that like button down there. It helps me. Okay, I'm not going to bury the lead here. I'm going to give you the answer right out of the gate. The answer is I-bonds. I mainly talk about real estate investing on this site and early retirement. I don't talk a lot about the stocks and bond side of investing, which I'm just kind of starting to get into myself. So I'm hoping that maybe this will be, the people that follow me, maybe this will be a new message that you haven't heard of before. So, especially if you're a real estate investor, you've got maybe money set into the bank, set aside for capital improvements, for an emergency fund, for a rainy day, whatever the fund is for. You've probably got cash sitting there in case the roof needs repaired or an air conditioner goes out, that sort of thing. It's something sits vacant. So we know that when inflation rates hit 7, 8, 9%, that cash is just losing 7, 8, 9% as time goes by. So your buying power is being diminished by 8, 9%. So I've got a surefire way of a bond you can buy with these I-bonds. They're backed by the U.S. government. I'll just tell you a little bit about these bonds. They're backed by the full faith and credit of the U.S. government. You can't trade them. You buy them, you hold them for a certain amount of time, and then you sell them. It's a 20-year bond. It has a 10-year extension available, so it could be a 30-year bond. You're required to hold it for a minimum of 1 year, and there's a penalty if you sell it before 5 years, but stay with me till the end here, and I'll tell you about this penalty. It's not that bad. It's going to still make it worth it for you. Okay, what's cool about these I-bonds is they're tied to the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, and the Consumer Price Index follows inflation. So it's got like a margin plus a rate on top of the margin. So it's going to follow inflation, and it's going to give you a little bit more than what inflation is. So it's guaranteed to give you a return. You're not investing it. You're not risking it. It can't go to zero. The government's going to give you your money no matter what. So that's why this is not investing. This is a guaranteed return, and you're not going to crush it. But with interest rates hitting these levels, there's not a lot of places you can just stick money and get a guaranteed 8, 9% return on your money. These things change the rate that they pay out every 6 months. So on May 1st and on November 1st, they change the rate of the payout of the interest rate. So if you want to get the best deal possible, you've got to buy this thing before May 1st. If you miss the May 1st deadline, if you see this afterwards, it doesn't matter. You can still benefit from this. But the best deal going is to buy these before May 1st. The current rate right now is 7.12%. So if you get your money in before May 1st, you're going to get 7.12% from now until November 1st. And then from November 1st till the next May, you're going to get what they're thinking is going to be 9.62%. So for the first 6 months, 7.12. For the 6 months, projected 9.62%. That's not a guarantee, but that's what they're projecting. It's going to be pretty close to that, plus or minus a little bit. So that's a blended rate of 8.34% or something, 8.3 something percent for the first year. And remember, you have to keep your money in this bond for 1 year, and then after that you can sell it. And I told you there's going to be a little penalty on there. There's also a limit on how much money you can put into these I-bonds. You can put a maximum of $10,000 per social security number per household. So my household is just me and my wife. So we bought 20 grand of these yesterday. I kind of just found out about these myself. I did my little bit of research, and I thought this is a better place to put my cash than letting it sit in the bank. So I bought 10 grand, my wife bought 10 grand, so we got 20 grand sitting in I-bonds right now. If you have kids or dependents, you can actually buy them on there. I believe, you can double check me, I'm not a financial advisor, this is just for recreational advice. So I think if you have kids and they have social security numbers, you can buy it. So say you got 2 kids, mom and dad, you can buy 40 grand in these I-bonds. So check into that, do your own research on that, but I believe that's how that works. The website where you need to go and buy these is called treasurydirect.com. I'll put a link down below. You can go there, you open up you log in, you set up an account, and then you can just link it to whatever your checking account, your savings account. You can link it and you can just bing, bang, boom. Buy 10 grand. It takes less than 15 minutes probably to do the whole thing. So that's it. Go get you some I-bonds if you've got money sitting in cash, and don't let inflation chip away at it. And if you thought this was a good idea and you have an extra 20 grand sitting around, you might be one of the people who might want to watch more of my videos about how to retire early and how much money you need to retire early. So go and watch this video over here. I called it Don't Retire Poor. But really what it does is it walks you through how to figure out how much money you actually need to retire. A lot of people go through these formulas, the 4% rule and all this stuff. And I think in this video, I've got a better idea on what you need to actually retire early. Thanks for watching. Give me a big like if you liked the video. Have a great day.